Before we start today's session, because I send you in the WhatsApp, you can read it a bit better than on the paper, but I thought I didn't know how it is here, so you can follow. For the newest athletes, this kind of report we do for every session, like we had Tuesday or we have today, with the incoming and outgoing athletes every time, and we have different numbers here. We have the speed of the incoming athletes. Then here you have red and green. You remember we said we agree with around 80 centimeters accuracy. So early or late, then it's green. And when it's more than this, 1 meter, 125, 2 meters, then it's red. Okay? So the goal here is 90% of green. You can see on your paper we had 44% on Tuesday, so that's clearly somewhere we can improve. Then we start warm-up. We do around the same warm-up than on Tuesday, so a bit less drills than Thursday. And today the difference, there are two differences. We exchange with 80 meters, so you start from this cone here. And we do half of the exchange also from 2 to 3, so from the straight to the bend. Okay? Good, then let's grab the sticks. One lane in between the two teams here in the bend. We call every exchange first. Focus on giving the top of the stick. Okay, don't stop your arm movements when you call, keep on moving your arms. Nice. Okay. You give and quickly back, yeah? You can win a bit of time there. You're too slow. The one in the back has to wait. Yeah. Come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Ah! Start again. Okay. One team of 3, 2 teams, two sticks, and you do build-ups here in the bend. Tick-pock. It has to be more a push than a hit, because the thing, you try to be really dynamic here, but then you hit like this instead of push it. When it's a push, then the athlete who is catching the stick has more time also to close the hand. But here you do very quick, but you hit, and if you hit wrong, we cannot exchange. That's what happened here. So it's nice to be dynamic, but you have to push the stick in. Push it in, not hit. We start exchanging Demi on Minke, 30. Tape is here. Marije on Naomi, 35. Yeah, but it's Naomi. And 𝗜𝗡𝗧 on Lieke.
Come on, come on, go, go! Yes!
Okay, the timings were good. I have the feeling we are gonna look at it. Two things. the outgoing athletes, when the incoming athlete calls, need to keep on accelerating. I see too much that you are at the same speed and then there's the call and the incoming athletes can close the gap very easy or even almost overtake you when they give the stick. That's not possible. You have to sprint out, okay? And second thing, like I mentioned by some of you in warm-up and what happened to 𝗜𝗚𝗦𝗚, the end is ready, but then she does this hit here. Try to push, find contact with the hand and push it in the end. Don't hit the hand, because if you miss it, then you have to try 2 or 3 times. Lisette. Check mark, perfect. 0-0. Minke, also in warm-up, but we look maybe next time during the drill. You get it here, and instead of going in a natural arm movement, you do a bit this with your arm, and then for 1 or 2 steps you're a bit disturbed in your way of sprinting. Yeah. Huh? The hand is here, push, and when you feel the contact with the hand, you keep on pushing in her hand. Don't hit it. Yeah, okay. Don't point the stick more front. Eh? She had her hand a bit looking up instead of flat, but then you still do a bit this at the end. Keep it straight like a candle. Okay, good first one. We go in, they are going to do a 300. When they are away, we go. Same feet, same exchange, but better. But still accelerating, eh? Don't wait on the stick. She needs to bring the stick. If you do your job and you leave on time, then it's her job to close the gap and give the stick. Bit early. Yes, good goal. Catch her. Yeah. Too early. Okay. Yes, nice. Good one. Now she didn't anticipate too much. Minke, what I was saying, both Naomi and you did the same mistake. You start the movement early and balancing, not really leaving. So you transfer the body weight to the front leg and then you cannot come back. And if this timing is wrong, you leave early. So you see now you are in a good position. She's coming and you go more on this leg and now you leave. Now. And that's 2 meters before the check mark. That's why she cannot get you. So you need to find this position. When you go low, then you don't move until you decide to leave. You cannot be here and then, that's too dangerous, okay? So that was early. Demi, it was a good reaction. You felt, okay, it's going to be hard, I call, but was it enough? No. Okay, next one.
Yeah, and now I slow down.
This was better, huh? Now the way you push, you wait, you don't do this hit at the end. And the last one, first time this year Naomi is living at check mark. But then 35 are definitely too much. Okay, here. You see a bit the same, you go too much on the right. And now check mark and you leave. Perfect at 0-0. I would like to see one more Demi Minke. The other you can rest and then we move over there. So here we have Minke on Marije, Naomi on 𝗜𝗚𝗦𝗚 and Lieke on Demi. Stand on the outside and in the first 10 meters you have to cut into the inside. So the incoming girl is running on the outside of the lane. So you also have to put the tape on the outside of the lane, not on the inside. Okay, the check mark. The same in the relay on Tuesday, yeah. Thursday. Compared to the other, you have to look really at your check mark. So you're going to have to look a little bit more on this side, not here. Eh?
Yeah. Are they going already?
Yeah, I don't know. We have time. And then try not to fall on the first, but really attack the ground. Eh? Bam, 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 bam. I think it's nice if no, you have time because we would like the exchange to be around here. So if you are at the cone or after the cone on the inside, that's enough.
Okay.
So if you stand there and you look around here, if you are inside, it's fast enough. Because if she calls earlier, it means it's too close. The exchange is here, right hand. Demi, which hand? Yeah, can happen, huh? You feel like you can go? Ready, Lisette? You're early because you start this movement a little bit too early, but luckily you are not taking off that early, so then it gives you exactly the right timing. But you stay nicely relaxed, Lieke. Eh? That's nice. Yeah, you do. Still, even when you're desperate, like here, try to give the top of the stick. Yeah. Because she still has one exchange over there. Now she has to correct because she only has this part out. Really good session. Consistent. Of course, we have to look at the numbers, but we had a lot of greens in the check mark were much better. And also speed is good and you trust to go out. Of course, we need to be even more consistent. Now I had the feeling, for example, Demi, you felt you were reacting a bit early like before and you didn't push the acceleration the same. With Lieke, you were starting the movement at the same moment, but you kept going. Yeah. We want this. We prefer to have this and then we adapt a bit the check mark or we work on your accuracy. But you cannot go out 80% or 90%. You have to go all the time 100%. But the exchanges were really good. For first week, really compliments. It's already on a high level. I think the averages are all better than on Tuesday. And also now we had 80 meters, so that gives us more information. We are closer to what you are going to race in a competition. Good job.
Oké, daar heb ik het denk ik wel.
Good. I already catch with you. Second time.